As professionals and leaders of volunteers, we must balance many seemingly conflicting things. For example, honoring processes and honoring people, respecting what's worked in the past while also being open to new ways of doing things. One balancing act that keeps coming up in our conversations with hundreds of organizations is this: that delicate balance between being welcoming and having boundaries when it comes to screening volunteers. I'm Beth Steinhorn. I'm president of VQ Volunteer Strategies, here today with a few quick tips on walking the tightrope of screening volunteers. This is part one: balancing being open with being accessible. Many volunteer coordinators seek to balance the need for proper screening with their desire to make it as easy as possible for people to volunteer. This often comes out in conversation with comments like, well, most of our positions won't require background checks or even interviews, so we don't want to even mention that on our website because we don't want to deter any prospective volunteers from applying. And I get it. Most of us want potential volunteers to be able to easily find our volunteer opportunities, quickly express their interest, and readily engage in service. But there's a difference between being easy and being accessible. Volunteer engagement leaders who focus on being open or creating very open volunteer opportunities often end up creating what I refer to as the come one, come all service opportunities. Anyone and everyone is accepted, then will a prospective volunteer even feel that being part of this community is a unique opportunity and that they would be a valued addition to it for the sake of their skills and their passions? When people sign up through simple online registration systems, a host organization has a harder time gathering information about a volunteer's interests, their skills, and their availability for future volunteering. Without that information, the organization has a hard time personalizing any future invitations to engage or even bridge this first event into future engagements. Prioritizing easy when connecting individuals to their first volunteer opportunity can, in fact, impede your ability to cultivate them for a second or ongoing engagements. So here's an alternative. Instead of focusing on being easy, focus on being accessible. Think about how to make the volunteer experience available to as many people as possible by removing barriers to volunteering without risking safety, of course, and by streamlining processes without sacrificing future cultivation. Gather data from prospective volunteers. Conduct screening that's appropriate to the level of risk and responsibility for each position, and take a broad view of hurdles that might impede volunteer signups. For example, is your application accessible to prospective volunteers who may have visual impairments? Are volunteer activities located in a place accessible by public transportation? Is your schedule accommodating to those who work or to families who might want to serve together? These are the considerations that help you shift the focus from making volunteering easy to instead making it accessible. So, as you revisit or design your volunteer practice and procedures, consider whether you want your focus to be on making volunteering easy or making it accessible. Easy may be appealing, but focusing on accessible is more likely to lead to a sustainable and impactful community. Again, I'm Beth Steinhorn. For more information and links to blogs, check out the comments below. Thanks.